everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday show. I'm Hammer, and I'm joined by my two favorite Wednesday show hosts forever and ever, Genty Maxie.
Hello.
And Terry Diamandis.
Hello.
How you doing, Terry?
Pretty good. How about you?
I am well. I had something to eat before the show, but I think we're all good. It's one of my favorite meals. It's lasagna. I don't think I've ever had a problem with lasagna. How you doing, Jen?
I'm doing well.
We've got something to talk about, but before we do that, let's go ahead and see who's in chat tonight.
I'm on the wrong page. I was on the right page, but I'm on the wrong page. Okay, let me go back. Let me go back to the right page. All right, and let me scroll up too, because that's the amazing thing about the YouTubes. Okay, so our first guest is Hammer. Hi, Hammer. And our second is Costin. Hello, Costin. And Rotten Corpse. And we got ourselves a Kiever Dam. Been a while. Hi, Kiever Dam. And then we got a Mike Art. And we got a THUR. And we got a K-Shul. Welcome.
Sorry?
Well, my job is a lot easier. We have two Wizard, we have Corsten, and we have Sim.
The early crew.
Yeah.
All right. Let me go over the topics really quick then, so that we can get into conversation we were having before we started the show. Because everybody on Rumble knows what we're talking about, but nobody on YouTube knows, because Rumble people are special. Anyway, the topics for tonight, Tucked is Tucker's interview with Putin. We didn't mention it last week, but there's been some developments. We'll get into it. Anyway, paraded, I don't know if you've heard about this, but the Kansas City parade for the Super Bowl, Kansas City won the Super Bowl this year. There was a shooting, and somebody was killed and some people were hurt. So we'll try to not to get too much detail about that. Memorized, the White House claims that Biden's memory is intact despite the video to the contrary. So we talk about bashing Biden, which I always look forward to. And then finally, Fender Bender, another downer on the show. A grandpa was pulling into a parking lot. A girl pulled out and bumped into him. He got out to apologize, and she killed him. So that wasn't a lot of fun. But we were talking about something before the show started, and Jen was going to say something. I had to cut her off to get the show on the road. What were we talking about? Because I've already forgotten.
So we were talking about the Snow White movie, and Terry had kind of finished with about the Daily Wire's version of it. And I just wanted to finish that one off with a thought that, like, you know, one of the things they didn't do in that movie that was the complaint about the one that Disney is pushing is they didn't push their own agenda. They didn't turn around and push their own agenda. They just pushed the movie. It was just a movie. It was based off the story. Is it ever going to be completely accurate? No. Those stories were written a hell of a long time ago, and they're based off of fantasy creatures. But it was based off of what people were wanting to see in a fantasy movie off of Snow White. And that's one of the things that I've noticed with at least a lot of the Daily Wire movies is they're not turning around and then making them all about Christian. You know, they're not all of a sudden all you know, holier than thou Christian. Because, like, I do think that Hollywood needs more actors and movie makers to compete with, because they suck.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And I believe in that part of capitalism where you could build your own. It's like, I think Mark Wahlberg was going to make his own. And I mean, fair enough, he is more Christian. He's more on that side. But if he can make movies that's not pushing like an agenda, I don't mind watching it. And I don't mind, you know, showing support to another outlet, because that is a problem. Like, I think that's clearly been a problem. There's been gatekeepers in Hollywood, and there's a hell of a lot of really good actors that I'd like to see again. More than just, you know, like, just leave the politics aside. I don't give a shit who you voted for.
Yeah.
You know, like, just leave the politics, you know.
I don't think Disney's trying to get revenge. I think they just want to put something out there that anybody can watch. And if they remove all politics, they accomplish that goal. I think it's a very cool thing that they're doing by not putting any politics in at all.
Well, I
not just
think,
trying to get revenge. Oh, you're gonna be left. Well, we're gonna be right. You know, no, they're not
I
doing
think
that,
what
which
they're
is cool.
doing is they're kind of being a bit more subtle about the politics, where they're advocating for Christian values by having the characters display them in the movie, like being a good person, acting the way that they believe a good person should act. That's how they're getting their message across. They're not having Snow White turn to the camera and say, you know, we're smashing the patriarchy, go girls go, like the Disney one tends to do. They're just having Snow White be the embodiment of what they believe good values to be, and they're teaching people. They're getting their message across that way, and I think that's going to have more impact on the audience. The audience is going to be like, you know what, this Snow White's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Maybe honesty and hard work, and maybe these values are actually worth pursuing.
The best part about this is that they're trying to stick as close as possible to the source material. This is
Always
not based off of Disney's Snow White. This is based off of the Brothers Grimm's Snow White. The people who actually wrote. I think it was Jacob Grimm who actually wrote Snow White, and they're using even the visuals. The Snow White in the Daily Wire has long hair.
Yeah.
Not true for Disney. Disney, the Snow White is short hair.
Yeah, she had the bob. Yeah.
So they're being that accurate. They're even getting the visuals right. You can't. How can you possibly criticize in a bad way a very faithful reproduction of the original source material? What do you?
Exactly.
What can you complain? You can't complain about it. It's the book brought to life. How can you complain about that? I think it's admirable to do that.
Yeah.
Because they're certainly in the position where they could put all the politics in that they want. I mean, they are obviously on the right. They admit it.
Frosted says, not gonna lie, Snow White asking the Doors if they found Jesus would be pretty funny.
It would.
Can I have a moment of your time to speak about our Lord Jesus? We're just looking at each other like, what the hell?
Yeah.
When the door says, we don't like Mormons. Slam the door.
You've let me into your house, but have you let Jesus into your heart?
Yeah, that's a good one. Is that movie actually out?
I have no idea.
I don't know if it's out. I just saw the trailers when it was first introduced.
Yeah, same here.
That was a perfect opportunity. They have Brent Cooper, who's already working for him. She's a verified, bona fide actress. How can you go wrong? She's the right age. She's everything about her is perfect for the part.
I think the only bad thing that they did was they probably shouldn't have used the Daily Wire branding on their version of Snow White, because Daily Wire has connotations. So if you're on the left, you're not going to watch the Daily Wire version of Snow White just because it's made by the Daily Wire. Even if you would otherwise be interested in it, the fact that it's made by the Daily Wire is going to put you off.
Yeah.
And so if they came up with, like, how their kids' company is Bent Key, I think that's the right way.
Will the version that's being released be under Bent Key, or will it be under Daily Wire?
I'm not sure, but I'm just saying I don't think associating it with the Daily Wire is a good idea, because it has such a reputation.
Well, they're the ones making it. I don't know how you can get around that. Anything you brand it as, they're going to say, well, that's a Daily Wire brand,
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, even having Brett Cooper, like, as an actress in it is probably calling too much attention to the fact that it's made by the Daily Wire. Like, good actress or not, I think they would have, like, if they got not that she's the right cast for it, but like someone unassociated, like, how they got Gina Carano to play in one of their movies, someone like that isn't already an active employee of the Daily Wire would probably.
That really makes a difference, because now Gina Carano is associated with Daily Wire by doing the movie, so she's just as quote unquote corrupt as someone who already worked for the Daily Wire.
Yeah, but that's because her movie was made by the Daily Wire. If they had used their Bent Key label, then they may not have attached that association to Gina Carano.
So it's actually the Daily Wire, the actual words that are the issue.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's a daily. If you go to the Daily Wire website, there's Daily Wire movies, and then I think there's Bent Key, which is like a separate thing that's like kids entertainment.
Right.
So I'm saying they should have done something similar for their movies, not call them Daily Wire movies. Have them be, something unassociated with that branding.
A different brand name.
Yeah.
I'll let Hammer answer that one, Frosted, because he likes her more. But she's not bad. She's got her own channel. She works for the Daily Wire.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I like her content, and I like her personality. Her voice is a little grating.
Yeah.
But
okay, the easiest way to explain to Frosted who Brett Cooper is. Have you seen the memes on Twitter about the female Ben Shapiro? That's her.
Yeah, she looks like Ben Shapiro's sister or something. She's really close, especially in the eyebrows.
Yes, not his actual sister. She doesn't look like his actual sister.
They're not related at all.
No, but like Ben Shapiro does have a sister, Abigail, and Brett Cooper doesn't look like Abigail. Brett Cooper looks like Ben.
Yes, it does. It's funny how Brett Cooper looks a lot more like Ben than his actual sister looks like.
Yes.
It's pretty funny. I never made that connection, but it's very true.
That's funny.
Yeah, she does a thing with them called the comment section with Brent Cooper.
Yes.
She also does she does an After Dark one too.
Yes. I don't know what the difference between the two is. It seems like the exact same show.
Well, the comment section is all about news stories, where the After Hours thing is all like her personal stuff.
I guess I never noticed, but yeah, she does have two separate ones.
Off the Clock, I think that's what it's called. Brent Cooper Off the Clock.
I can't remember. I can't remember the name of his second show, but yeah.
Yeah. So, I like her content. I like what she does. It's pretty much talking heads, kind of stuff. But yeah, the Off the Clock stuff. Like she went to Barcelona for a month or something like that. And all those episodes were called Off the Clock.
Oh no, the one I'm thinking of isn't her personal life. It's like, I don't know what she calls it, but she's got like the comment section, and then there's like a different one where seems like the same show.
When she's doing a promo for, whenever she's doing an episode about something, she'll do a quick promo of herself. She'll say, make sure you like and subscribe. That way you don't miss any of the comment sections or any episodes of Off the Clock. Yeah. So those are the two that I know about, unless she does something else I'm not aware of.
And then Frosted is saying, haven't seen that meme, but I assume she loves Birch Gold. Actually, she is a big advocate for Rough Greens. That seems to be the sponsor she
Rough Greens.
the most.
Yeah.
Because she has dogs, and apparently Rocky and Tater are big fans of the Rough Greens.
She's just recently got engaged.
Yes.
Things are looking up. She's doing movies again. She's doing her actress gig. She's getting quite the following on her show, and getting married. Things are looking up for her. The only thing I have a problem with her is when it's kind of like the same problem I have with a couple of different hosts, is when they get involved in something, their voice changes and it becomes annoying to me.
Okay, fair enough.
Because she gets excited. And her voice goes up 5, and then dogs start barking around my neighborhood. It's just like, look, I get your point. You're upset. Just calm down and be rational about it.
Yeah.
And some people like a ranting going on, and they like that kind of stuff. But I'm not like that. I prefer quiet. I'm an old guy. Just relax and tell me the story. I don't need to hear you banging on the desk and screaming into the microphone. Not my style. So
there's very few people that I'll tolerate that for. Like there's the lady who does the Clownfish channel.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a very unique voice, but when she gets passionate, I actually have to stop myself from laughing. Like, yes, her voice is unique, but when she gets angry, it's like listening to your mom get mad, you know, like when she starts swearing. She's like, "Sorry, mom." I just start laughing.
Yeah, that's why you watch V, because his voice is already squeaky. He doesn't have to get animated for it to go squeaky. It starts that way.
There's another talking head YouTube host, female, called Amala Ekpanobi. Have you ever heard of her?
Yeah. The half-black conservative.
Right. I prefer her content over Brett because I've never seen Amala lose her fucking mind. Or it's not like she loses her mind. She just gets caught up in it. And Amala doesn't do that. She's pretty even.
Amala's associated with PragerU, isn't she?
She was, yeah. She's on her own now. She's separated from PragerU. But she did a bunch of videos for him. I can't remember what she has a show, but I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, it's unfiltered, uncensored, something like that.
Yeah, something. Yeah. I can't remember what it was called, but
Unapologetic, is that it?
That's what it is. Yeah, it's unapologetic. You're right. That's what it is. The only thing that bothers me is that she has a co-host.
Yes.
It's a white guy, and he is so fucking dumb. Oh my god.
That's actually why I stopped watching her videos.
It would be different if he was, on the ball but he acts nothing against anybody here, not about anybody in general, but he acts like he's stoned. He's just not on the ball. He's very I think this is like, dude, there are people watching you. Let's get this going here. Don't be fucking falling asleep on me.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just he comes on he comes on. I look away, grab a drink, do something on my desk and wait for her to show back up on the stream. So
and Frosted says he'd watch the hell out of any movie if the villain was played by V. It's like, I was so disappointed because he's making a video game and he has point blank refused to have a bonus mode where he voices all the succubus characters, because I think it would be hilarious.
So I don't have this as an article, but the most ridiculous thing I saw yesterday on Twitter was a clip from the UK where they were bitching at the actor who played Mr. Bean because he's destroying the electric car industry.
What's his name? He's very famous.
Ron Atkinson.
Yeah, I like him as outside of Mr. Bean. I didn't hate Mr. Bean. I just hated how often it was forced on me as a kid.
No,
I love the facial expressions.
Like Mr. Bean. Like, Mr. Bean is probably my least favorite of all of Ron Atkinson's works.
It was funny enough. It just wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't my favorite. My brother's got another. I don't even think it was that
funny. I prefer when he talks in his roles. Like Blackadder was way better. Not the 9 o'clock news. The Thin Blue Line, where Rowan Atkinson actually has a speaking role instead of just being a wibbly wobbly idiot. He's much better.
He was in a movie that he shouldn't have been in. The movie was oh my god, I'm gonna try to remember what the name of the movie was. It's Jesus. I'm gonna draw a blank. No, it's a movie he shouldn't have been in. His part didn't make sense in the movie at all. It was a romantic comedy movie. It was a romantic comedy movie. And it was entirely about love. I can see and probably replicate just about everything but this movie, but I'm blanking on the name, which is typical of me. But I
think he was in 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
Yeah, I know that movie. It's not the one I'm thinking of. This is a romantic comedy with a bunch of different characters, a very several different stories about how those characters fell in love and how they end up.
Actually?
It's Love Actually. That's correct. That is the movie. He is in an airport and he's trying to get onto a plane, and this kid is trying to get through the airport past security, and security stopped the kid and said, "You can't do that." And then Rowan Atkinson walks up in his part, and he begins talking to the security guy about what he needs to do to get in. So he's very playing the part, almost like Mr. Bean. He's very, "Hey, I need you to hold this for me, sir." And he starts looking for his passport and all this kind of stuff, and he's drawing the attention of everybody away from this kid on purpose. And you can see him kind of glancing down at the kid, and at one point he looks at the kid and he gives a little nod, and the kid takes off and gets inside, and nobody notices because he spent all that time engaging everybody, and he wasn't loud or anything like that. He was just very involved with everybody. So he got the kid in. So the part that he played was key to the movie, but Rowan Atkinson? That's the guy that you put in there? It just didn't make any sense, but it was beautiful how he shouldn't have been in the movie, but it fit perfectly.
I blame the Batman, who's a buddy I know from the UK, for forcing me to watch the final scene for Blackadder for the World War scene.
Oh yeah, Blackadder was brilliant.
If you watch it, you just start to realize how many guys are in it that you recognize. You're like, I remember you for at least 3 or 4 movies.
Blackadder was a movie?
It was a show. It was a show, actually.
Well, technically, they did make a Blackadder movie, Blackadder Back and Forth, or Blackadder Through Time, something like that. But the one that's famous is the TV show.
Yeah.
But the actors who were in Blackadder went on to do a lot of movies.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Sorry, I worded it weird.
I'm unfamiliar.
Hugh Laurie, you know, the guy who plays House.
Oh yeah.
He started in Well, he didn't start in Blackadder. He was in Blackadder. So was Stephen Fry. He was his comedy partner.
I know you can't share this, but you can watch this later. I'm going to share it in the YouTube chat too.
Okay. Brian Blessed is a famous English actor. He he was in the first season of Blackadder. There's a lot of if you watch English movies, there's a lot of faces you'll recognize if you go back and watch Blackadder.
I feel bad. I don't know if I could post this on Rumble. I don't feel comfortable posting YouTube on Rumble. I'm okay with posting Rumble on YouTube.
It's weird. That wasn't supposed to happen.
But yeah, no, the thing that Jen has posted is one of the most famous from Blackadder. It's the final episode of the final season. And it's really quite a sentimental farewell. It's really well done.
Yeah, I tend to think like it's one of those things I might end up watching on November the 11th. It's just, they hit home. You know, it was funny too. Like you're trying not to laugh, but then at the same time you're like, oh, yeah.
What is the show about? Because I don't know anything about it.
Okay, so the main character is Edmund Blackadder, and it's kind of each season he gets lower and lower status. So in the first season he's a prince and he's trying to, compete with his brother for the king's attention, and he wants to, eventually become king.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the second season he is just a lord, and he works for he answers to the queen, and like he's in a similar situation where he's competing with other lords for the queen's attention. And then in the third one, he's just a butler. And then in the fourth one, he's a private not a private, he's a captain in the army. And so he just keeps getting lower and lower status. But it's basically just him trying to, compete for status and attention and improve his standing in civilization.
And it ran for how long?
4 seasons.
4 seasons?
And it's an English show, so remember that there's only 6 episodes in each season.
Netflix, Hulu, Amazon?
I have no idea. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find it somewhere. Do you have like a UK TV or equivalent?
Is it in PAL format?
Probably. I mean, it's an English show from the 80s, so it probably is in PAL.
I'll find it. I'll convert it.
But yeah, I promise you'll be able to find somewhere that allows you to watch it.
I mean, I know there's clips of it on YouTube. Like when I looked it up, I just shared that one clip because it's my favorite episode. from what I was I watched streamed with Batman. So
well, when you mentioned the name, the first thing that came to my mind was the MCU. There's a character in the MCU named Blackadder.
Yeah,
So
I
that's where
remember.
So why don't we talk about some of these topics that we have here, seeing as how it's half an hour into the show. Anyone in particular you guys want to? You remember the 4? Did you write it all down?
Yeah, I want to laugh at Biden's apparently excellent memory.
Well, this is not just one. The thing is, because Peter Ducey went after, what the hell's her name? Karine?
Jean-Pierre or something like that.
Went after her about it. And he's like, we saw it on video. She's like, well, you have to understand that the report that said he was mentally incompetent, that's just not based in reality. It's like, we saw him on TV. She's like,
yeah,
I can't speak to that. We're at the point now where she's telling us not to believe our eyes.
Well, yeah.
See,
I mean,
I actually wanna pull a troll question on Biden, because it's one of those things where, like, when you do stuff like that, he really can't keep up with that, and you know that the people writing for him can't keep up with it. But I want somebody to ask him, where the hell did he come up with lying pony dog soldier?
Dog-faced pony soldier.
Lying dog-faced pony soldier, yeah.
Yeah, where the hell did he come up with that? Like, I'd like someone to just ask, like,
there is a logical place. Somebody tracked it down. I forget. It's from some movie or something, isn't it? Like some John Wayne movie or something?
I think it's a misremembered line from a John Wayne movie.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that phrase was ever in anything, but something similar was in a John Wayne movie, and Biden kind of misremembered it. And
I'm sure if someone in chat can Google, where did lying dog-faced pony soldier come from? I'm sure somebody has tracked it down to find out exactly where it's from, but I don't think it's exactly those words, but I think it's something close. I think it was a movie.
But that's the point of that question, because, like, that's the kind of thing when you have memory problems, you might be able to remember something from something like that, but you're not going to remember what you're doing 10 minutes from now. You know, so it's just. Did you see
the whatchamacallit, the press conference he did to prove that he has a good memory? Did you see that press conference?
I saw clips of it.
So he goes out and he spends maybe 30 minutes or so answering questions, very confrontational. You don't know what you're talking about, that kind of stuff. And then he gathers up his stuff and goes to walk off the stage, stops, turns around like a fucking Roomba, comes back to the podium and begins talking more, and forgets something. Yeah. He says he forgot that where he got his rosary from. He speaks about, I've had this rosary from this thing for all my life, and I always wear this rosary, and I got it from. He forgot where he got it from, and then he just packs up his shit and walks off the stage again. It's like, you just proved in front of everybody that you have no fucking clue. Listen to my voice. Yeah. Listen to my voice. I'm doing it. I'm doing it myself. My voice is going up. I can't do that.
Frosted Glass says, a horse soldier with the head of a dog. Sounds like a Lovecraftian monstrosity.
It was misremembered. The Indians called U.S. soldiers lying pony soldiers, as their symbol was a horse. I thought it was a movie, too.
See, which is fine, Tier. Like, but you get why I want to ask him these kind of things, because it really is trying to get the cognitive out of him. And yes, it's funny, but the reason I want to go with a meme is because memes just spread like wildfire.
I think what we need to do is we need to get Corn Pop to vouch for Biden. It's the only way.
Where even is he? Is he in jail again or something?
Corn Pop, I think he's dead. From what I've been able to track down about who Corn Pop actually was, there was actually a black guy in the swimming pool where Biden was a lifeguard. So that's kind of who people are assuming Corn Pop was. That guy is dead. So whether that's actually corn pop or whether Biden is just making shit up, which is the more likely scenario. The guy that people thought might be corn pop is dead.
That's creepy.
All right, so I'm looking at The Guardian, so take this for what it's worth. A lying dog-faced pony soldier. So just what was Joe Biden talking about? Biden called a woman a lying dog-faced pony soldier. I thought he called it to a guy, but apparently it was a woman.
It was a dude. I remember the clip.
Well, the Guardian thinks it was a guy or a girl. But no one can find the film he thinks he's quoting from. All going so badly for Joe Biden, and then it got worse. Concerns for the former U.S. president's 2020 bid were mounting, blah, 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 blah. Campaign shop, New Hampshire. 21-year-old economics student asked Biden. Madison Moore, sounds like a girl, asked Biden whether voters could remain confident in his campaign after his poor performance in the Iowa caucuses. Biden asks her if she ever had attended a caucus. When Moore said yes, Biden responded, "No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier." So he was talking to a girl, at least according to The Guardian. There didn't seem to be any hard feelings. Footage showed the audience laughing and giggling at Biden because he's a fucking idiot. That was my point.
No, he's not an idiot. As Frosted points out, he has a stutter.
Yeah.
I get you're getting that from the article, but I'm just saying there is actually a video of him saying it. So if you actually watch the video, the person he's talking to is a dude.
Yeah,
because he was talking to blue collar dudes.
He says it's not even the first time Biden has used this phrase in a 2018 campaign event. Talking about a Republican Senator, Kevin Kramer of North Dakota, Biden said, "As my brother who loves to use lines from movie from John Wayne movies." So we were right, John Wayne movie. There's a line in the movie where the Indian chief turns to John Wayne and says, "This is a lying dog-faced pony soldier." So it was a movie, but it looks like there is no John Wayne film that actually has that quote, according to The Guardian.
It's one of those things with when you're trying to catch out a liar. You know, it's watching them try to, dig more lies.
It's not clear what he meant. There is a 1952 Western called Pony Soldier, but it does not star John Wayne, and no one is called a lying dog-faced pony soldier in it, according to Slate magazine. There's supposedly a line in the film which the chief says, "The pony soldier speaks with the tongue of a snake that rattles." Like a dog and rattlesnakes, I suppose. Like a dog. I don't know. So apparently it's all bullshit. He's an idiot.
Yes,
it really just comes down to he's an idiot.
Well established by now.
So it will ever be on his campaign, though. It'll be on his headstone.
Oh yeah.
All those lying dog-faced pony soldiers out there.
Beloved by all except Corn Pop.
But yeah. So basically, Corinne's telling us that all these fuck-ups that he's made, they don't really exist.
Well,
there's nothing wrong with his memory. He's perfectly fine.
I'd be asking her, is there something wrong with your memory?
They're pointing to
that would be a good question.
They're pointing to the Haley Pelosi thing that Trump did. Oh, well, Trump's no better. He got Pelosi and Haley mixed up. All right, well, Haley is his current political enemy right now, so it's on the top of his mind. So at least he has justification. But Biden fucks up every time he speaks. Every single time he speaks, he screws up.
Yeah, I was going to say, even beyond that, Trump made one goof. Biden is like a factory of bad memories and, foolish statements.
Also, when it comes to them, if I didn't hear it myself, I always assume that they twist it. Because he could have said, is like Pelosi.
No,
and not is.
Have you seen the clip? The clip's pretty clear that he got the wrong
names.
Is
it? Okay, okay.
I gotta give it to him. They're true. It's correct. He did fuck it up.
That's why I asked that, because like when I call it The Guardian for that, it is because I have seen the clip. I have seen the clip several times. It was a guy. I heard him talk.
We need a Rosetta Stone to decode Biden's statement. That's brilliant. But yeah, whenever Biden talks, you can't get through a sentence without him screwing something up. And people keep saying stutter, stutter, stutter. It's not a stutter. He has a tendency to mumble when he gets going fast enough. True anti-American establishment, whatever that was in that one speech. He gets going fast enough, he starts doing the mumble. And maybe they consider that the stutter. But when he thinks that the country below Gaza is not Egypt, but Mexico,
Yes,
that's not a stutter.
that's a bad stutter.
It's also that every time they get him to do things like any kind of activity, he forgets what he's doing. Like sometimes he'll fall down, like on the bikes or when he's going up the stairs.
Yeah.
He can't remember what he's doing. So he gets lost in his thoughts and he falls down. And then they don't do anything for him when he does it. And I'm usually horrified because I'm like, I know I don't agree with him politically, but an old guy that age falling down should have somebody assisting him instantly.
Yeah. But I do think it's funny that they named it a stutter, which is like a word that people who have one can't say.
Well, we all know what a true stutter, what a true stutter sounds like.
Yeah,
right.
It's just Jimmy from South Park. If you listen to Jimmy from South Park, he has a stutter, and that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, we know what a stutter is. I mean, I just purposely made a stutter.
Yeah.
But so we all know what that sounds like, and that's not what he does. Even if you wanted to give him some grace and say that he has a stutter, that could be the area where he mumbles, because he does a lot of that. But when you say, you know, coming to take Terry away.
It's funny.
Talking about American presidents, we're sending the Australians after you. But when he says, you know, we hold these truths to be self-evident, and you know the thing.
Yeah.
That's not a stutter, man.
Oh,
that's not a stutter.
That's a big stutter.
It's a fuck
he's
up.
still trying to finish that sentence.
He's still trying. He's taking a nap right now, going the thing.
Yeah. And Foster points out America can be summed up in one word.
Oh yeah.
Like the foothills of the Himalayas with Xi Jinping.
What about the two most important words in America? Made in America.
Yeah.
That's 3 words, sir. That's not 2.
Or chewing and under the pressure.
Right, chewing under the pressure. That I think that could be considered his stutter, technically, because he's going so fast that he can't get his mouth to stay with him.
Yeah.
And that could be considered a stutter. So I can give him some room for those kind of things. The mumbling, that's the mumbling I was talking about.
Yeah,
I can under, you know, it's a bit of a stretch, you know, but I can see it. But when he just gets things factually wrong, that's not a stutter. And he does that all the time too. So
here, and Frosty says, can stutter just be code for retard now? Never go full stutter.
I need to get the the music poll out here.
Speaking
if you guys,
music, have you guys heard the stutter rap?
What?
Have you guys heard the stutter rap?
No.
Oh, no.
It's a song from 80s or 90s, I forget which, by Morris Minor and the Majors. And it's just like a comedy song, but yeah, he sings about how difficult it is to be a rapper when you've got a terrible stutter.
Well, wasn't there a song by a group called Stuttering Tom or something like that?
Maybe. Vaguely familiar?
Hang on a second, because I could probably play it and not get in trouble for it. My music. Stutter. STUTTER. I love when my computer does this.
Yeah.
If I misspell a word, it has no idea what I'm talking about. The name of the group is called Ben's Brother, and the song is called Stuttering. It's a song called Stuttering, and in the song he stutters.
Right.
And it's music. It's real music. It's actually a good song. I don't know if I can play it now that I think about it, because we're not just on Rumble.
The stutter rap is not a good song, but it is entertaining. Like the first couple of times you hear it. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to say go out, it's the best song ever, but it is pretty funny. Like the first couple of times you hear it, it's like, okay, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I probably can't play the song because it's copyright
Copyright?
and all that kind of stuff. But I guess as long as we're talking over top of it, but I have to cut it here in a second. But this guy actually, I don't know if you heard it, but he says it's been such a long time.
Oh, okay.
He actually stutters on the song. It's actually kind of cool if you think about it.
But to get back on track, we probably should put the music poll up in chat.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of it. Tonight's
Okay.
music outro, and now I have to actually copy the. I got to find a way to script this so I can just push a button and have it be done. Because it takes me out of the conversation if I have to do this while the show's running. So we need a producer.
I wonder if you could pre-fill it before the stream and then just not make it live until like halfway through or something.
It would prevent me from chatting as minions.
Yeah,
but I never chat as a minions anyway. I always chat as myself. So
but yeah, I'm just trying to think how to streamline it. So rather than like have to write a script, you could just pre-fill it during the Rumble section. And then,
I just have to be better. That's all.
Yeah.
Those are our first songs tonight. Fear Factory, Cars, Lady Gaga, Born This Way, Missy Higgins, Scar, and Smash Mouth All Star. Boom, boom, boom.
If it was Gary Newman Cars, then I'd probably vote for that. But like if it's Fear Factory covering Gary Newman,
well, he is in the song.
Oh, okay.
It's featuring him. It's very close. If you ever heard it, the songs are very close. It's just that because of the difference in time, because he was in the 80s. Fear Factory, the recording is much higher quality because just a matter of time and technology.
Right.
And it's a little bit more. His was a little bit more not psycho. What's the word I'm looking for? Psychedelic music, I guess maybe. And Fear Factory is a little bit more hard rock.
Yeah.
Like guitars, kind of stuff.
I'm just like, for the most part, not that fond of covers.
Yeah.
So like,
it's so close it might as well just make.
Yeah.
It's just basically a remake. It's not even a cover.
Being told that, like, if you just tell me the Fear Factory cover of Cars, probably not. Yeah. Not that interested. Green Badger saw Fear Factory and got excited for a second. Well, you can still be excited. It's still Fear Factory.
Is that specifically a song that he doesn't like of them?
No, I think he means that he expected like a song written by Fear Factory, not them covering.
Not a cover.
Newman.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I don't even know who to vote for. I usually don't vote unless it's tied.
Right.
Vote for whoever you want.
I think it's pretty convincing for All Star based on current data.
I just won't vote for Lady Gaga anymore. Like, I don't hate her music. I'm just like, I feel like I'm voting for Satan.
Well, the thing about all this music is none of it has vocals. So you're really not listening to Lady Gaga. You're listening to her band or studio musicians or whatever like that. It's really not. She wrote it, but you don't have to deal with her voice.
No.
She actually has a good voice.
She does. I don't hate her music. I just, I feel like I'm voting for Satan.
There is one cover version that is a distinct improvement, and that is Eric Cartman sings Poker Face much better than Lady Gaga does.
Can't believe that got through the censors. That's crazy. No one's voting for Missy because nobody knows who she is.
I know who she is, and that's why I'm not voting for her.
You and I do because she's Australian, so of course you know who she is. But I know I'm an American. I know who she is.
Yes, but you know a lot of Australian music relative to other Americans.
Yeah.
There's another one I didn't know, and I blame Pat for this because he looks up stuff and then shows it to us. But I didn't know that Megan Fox had fallen into the category of people who've decided to remove the facial fat. She kind of looks like Madonna.
I wish women would stop doing this. You look great the way you are. Stop fucking with what God gave you.
Right? I don't get it. I'm like, why would you? Okay, whatever.
It seems like they're really pretty women who are different, but very pretty anyway. are the ones who are doing this. You don't need to do it. You're pretty already. Stop. You're making yourself look like everybody else. You're trying to fit into an aesthetic. You know, don't. You're unique. You're pretty. Stay that way. That's a good place to be.
Yeah. Frosted says he knows AC/DC and Midnight Oil. Yeah, those are probably two of the biggest successes to come out of Australia.
What I need to do, and I've thought about this a gazillion times, and I keep forgetting to do it, is I need to go out and grab AC/DC's top 3 or 4 songs and get versions of them that don't have any singing in them.
That would be awesome. I would vote for AC/DC.
Yeah, I know you would. But I only have one because I haven't. Every time I'm reminded to do this, I don't actually have time to do it at that point, and then I forget.
Right.
Because
and then you forget.
Yeah.
So which AC/DC song do you have?
The one I have prepped for the show, I think, is "You Shook Me All Night Long." I think. Let me jump out to my pictures folder and find out what music I have.
Well, of course, it's in the pictures folder. That's
yes.
Where else would it be?
And sort by name. AC. "You Shook Me All Night Long" is the only instrumental one I have.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say "Back in Black" is probably one of the big ones to get. "Thunderstruck."
What's the
"Dirty Deeds"?
"Dirty Deeds." That's a good one. I should definitely get that one. What's the one? The one from the we talked about this, the Avengers movie. Something about killer, thriller, or something. It's not
Shoot the Thrill.
Shoot the Thrill. Shoot the Thrill. Yeah, need to get that one. That's another good one.
Yeah, I mean, I like a lot of AC/DC's music. They're very, very good.
Oh.
I mean, they make the joke that all the music sounds the same, and it kind of does.
Well, it has the same instruments and the same singers, or at least it did. But every band is going to have their sound. You can tell that it's U2 after three notes. I know who that is. That's U2.
Yeah, but like it's just become a bit like a meme with AC/DC, is that all their songs sound the same. Because even Angus Young made the comment that people say we've released 11 albums that all sound the same, and I resent that. It's 12 albums.
At least he's got a sense of humor about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Most Aussies, especially like of that era, pretty good sense of humor about things.
Did you know that the guitar player for U2 has a guitar for every one of their hit songs?
Cool.
So if they're going to play a specific song, he goes to that guitar and plays that song on that guitar, then puts that guitar down for the next song. And picks up a different guitar ridiculous for that song.
That's kind of cool at the same time.
I mean, to have that kind of money where you could just have 15 guitars sitting on stage so you can play your 15 songs. That's a little bit of opulence there,
Well, as South Park proved, Bono is the biggest piece of shit in the world. That is like, he's the world record.
What? Bono's the biggest piece of shit in the world? Why is Bono? I mean, I understand that they forced a copy of their album down on everybody else's iPhone, but
the whole episode was basically Randy takes what he thinks is the biggest shit he's ever like in the world, and he calls the Guinness Book of World Records, and they send him to some other place, and then they say, actually, Bono has just done a bigger turd, and then like the episode progresses, and it turns out that Bono is actually not the record holder. He's the record. He is the biggest turd in the world.
U2 gets a lot of hate, but I like them. And
I'm indifferent. I don't love or hate them. They're just there.
I enjoyed their music when I first started hearing, when they first started becoming famous. Sunday Bloody Sunday has been a favorite of mine for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I think that's a great song.
Okay songs, but they're not anyone I would seek out. I wouldn't be like, you know what, I really want to listen to some U2 right now. But like, if I'm in the car and someone's got it on the radio, Like, I'm not going to ask them to change the channel, change the
Yeah.
station. It's just like, okay, yeah, well, let's listen to this.
What really pushed me over with them was when they did the Super Bowl after 9/11.
Okay.
Yeah, that was gross.
It was gross.
Sorry, which one?
When U2 did the Super Bowl after 9/11.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant the Bud Light one.
Oh no. This was 2012 or something like that.
Okay, yeah, different story. I came in at a weird time.
And they were doing one of their hits. I can't remember which one it was, but it was one of their top songs of the time. I can't remember what name it was. Anyway, they had a huge tarp behind them. It was a great tarp, and it was huge. It was like 30 stories tall, huge. That was, you know, kind of waving in the wind, and they were projecting on it the names of all of the Americans who died in 9/11 while they were singing their song, and which was impactful enough already. But then, as he's singing the song and coming to the end, he opens up the jacket that he's wearing. He's wearing a leather bomber jacket. And remember, this is a British band, U2. He opens up his jacket and shows to everybody, and inside's an American flag.
Oh, okay.
That was very impactful. I mean, to this day, it chokes me up. Right now, it is.
One of my favorites
that hits me hard.
Every time I clap my hands, a kid in Africa dies. I will stop fucking doing it then.
So yeah, that kind of pushed it over the edge. So now I really can't say anything bad about them anymore.
I mean, I don't have a problem with them.
I still haven't found what I'm looking for. I think that's the song they were playing. So it was already a song that was tugging on your heart.
Yeah.
And then the names, and then the jacket. It was just like I gotta say, there was a lot of people in the stands who were bawling from that. You know. Very emotional.
Nice little dedication. Yeah, it's nice to do.
It's very emotional. So at least it was for me.
And people are saying they're Irish.
I'm sorry. You're right. They're Irish. I should know better. I'm Irish. I should know that.
It's,
you're right.
Yeah, like I said, I don't have a problem with them. I just don't care either way for them. They're not
Sunday Bloody Sunday is about the Troubles, so I should know that.
Right.
I think. Sorry.
I was going to say, I do like. I think it was Netflix. Was talking to an Irish woman and that she couldn't watch some soccer game and said sorry for the troubles. Like obviously, it was a typo. They meant sorry for the trouble, but saying that to an Irish person.
Sorry for the troubles. Yeah, we are too. You know.
See, South Park kind of ruined YouTube for me, because of what they did to Bono in that one episode. So the entire episode was about Bono being a turd.
Yeah.
I feel bad about that because I have never really ever watched South Park. Like, I know what it is. I know, you know, you bastard, you kill cat. I understand all that kind of stuff, but the cultural references in general, I get the bigger ones, the more common ones. But when you guys start talking about anything else about the show, I've never sat down and even watched one episode, not one.
Original South Park has a lot of little treasures like that. Like, not every episode's necessarily great. Like, they're funny enough, but they're, you know, crude. It's crude humor. But if you watch episode to episode, you will find little treasures where they'll throw in a little nugget like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that episode was just, it was a giant turd joke. Yeah. But they got an Emmy for it.
Well, not for that episode, I don't think, but
no, but for the scene.
Yeah. But I'm actually halfway through season 12. Like, I started at season 1 and I've watched every single episode of South Park in the first 11 and a half seasons, and I'm still going strong. So it's obviously good enough to hold my attention.
They don't kill Kenny anymore?
It got boring.
Sometimes. So in the first, I think, like 5 seasons, they killed him in every episode. But I think they were running out of ways to do it, so they just abandoned the joke. They killed him off for real, and then I think the fans missed him too much, so they brought him back. And then Yeah, now he still dies occasionally, but it's not every episode.
It's also kind of a superpower that he comes back to life.
Yeah.
Which they do bring up in the game.
I found that to be one of the funniest jokes that they did was that they kept killing Kenny out, the poor guy.
Yeah.
All right, the poll's at 11 votes. I'm going to close the poll. So unless you guys, if there's anybody out there who hasn't voted yet.
I think it's a pretty clear winner.
Yeah, right now Smash Mouth is in the lead. I don't think we're going to get the Fear Factory. They're at 36%. So that's 11. We have a 12. I'm gonna end the poll any second now. You better hurry.
Yeah.
Invisible person.
All right, I'll go ahead and end it with 11 votes. Smash Mouth All Stars gets a nod for tonight. Before someone signs on to their alt account just to have the number, because that'll happen.
I'm sure of it.
Not like it hasn't happened before. Yeah, so I mean, when you guys talk about cultural references like that, like I don't really know The Simpsons very well either, or Family Guy. I'm just not a cartoon person. I think I've mentioned before, the only cartoon I ever watched was Archer, and I haven't even watched like the last 2 seasons of that either. So
it's a lot to watch anyway. Like I wouldn't necessarily. Oh, it's been for South Park. I started watching that when I was 16. So
well, you're only 18 now, so.
So South Park,
so smooth.
At least according to Paramount Plus, there's 26 seasons.
Yeah.
Holy crap! How many? It was like 15 per season or something like that. 15 episodes or something like that.
13, 14, something like that.
Jeez. Yeah, I don't know if I can get into that. That's just too much for me.
That's why I would rather, like, if you were to do it, do a watch party where somebody's going to show you like particular episodes that were good. You know, like 1 or 2 episodes, because there's somewhere I know that you would probably get a kick out of it, like the you weren't really were you a World of Warcraft fan? I don't know that you were.
That was a huge
you would love that episode. That episode is so goddamn funny. That one alone would be enough to yeah, you won't need to watch the rest of it. You're just like, that one alone was good. Yeah, all 4 boys play the game, and they basically become like little 8-year-old incels. Like, they don't even leave the room because they have to take out this guy who's basically like a troll. He just runs around killing everybody. So they basically spend the entire time killing pigs so they can level up to like a god mode status.
Oh, jeez.
It's funny as shit. It's gross. Like, you'll have those like, oh god dang it, Jen, why would you send this to me? But no, it's good. Or the one where they think that they're I wouldn't say Marvel characters. I think it's more like Capcom or one of the fighter games. They take on the personality of like superheroes and villains, and they go that route with it.
See, I only know about that stuff because in the second South Park game, The Fractured Butthole, you may interpret that however you wish. But in that game, they have the superpowers, so you can get Kenny on your team, and he's called Mysterion, and he has the resurrection power, and Cartman is the coon, and I forget who everyone else. I think Wendy had some sort of technology power. I forget, like, everyone's alter egos, but yeah, they all have like superhero personas that they adopt in the game.
Just never been a cartoon person. I'm not even a TV person, to be honest with you. I'm a movie guy, but
yeah,
I don't really watch even stuff like what's that Kevin Spacey HBO series they had where he was some kind of political guy. Mara was in it. Kate Mara was in it.
I don't know. Sorry.
That was real. I watched like the first season of that, and I was like,
Is it House of Cards? Is that the one?
Yeah, House of Cards. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting, but I just couldn't keep. I don't know. I couldn't keep interest. Yeah, there must be something with weekly episodes. Like if something is blasted out with 13 episodes, I love that shit. But if I have to wait a week between each one, I have a hard time keeping. I get on to other things. I just like, oh, and I forget about it. Even if it's intriguing, I'll think, you know what I haven't seen in a while? What was that show I used to watch? I forget about it. So
I think that's one of the benefits of me watching South Park on Paramount Plus is I can just watch it whenever I want. I don't have to wait a week between episodes. I can just be like, today I'm going to watch 5 episodes in a row if I really want to.
Yeah.
On a different cartoon note, and only just because I had to remember through vast elderly techniques of shifting my butt back and forth. But now that you're back, Kiever Dam, look up Sleeping Beauty. One of these lies that the feminists like to tell us is that Disney's princesses are all based off of La La Land and not real characters. But Sleeping Beauty actually did have a model. They were actually based off of real characters or real human beings. I didn't know that.
And
feminists be liars.
Yeah.
Why
He
you
was mentioning like
always lying?
WCO as another way to watch South Park. That site has all the episodes. Paramount Plus, there's a lot of episodes that they are just unwilling to show for whatever crazy reason. So yeah, if you want to watch it complete, but you don't mind shitty quality because it's like low resolution, WCO does have all the episodes of South Park on it. But I prefer watching on Paramount Plus because you get, decent resolution, you get subtitles, you get all the niceties of a paid product. But if you want to watch it for free and you don't mind the drop in quality, WCO has every episode. It's good.
Well, to give you an idea of my aversion to animation as far as TV is concerned, the Star Trek franchise has 2 animated TV shows on the air right now. They have Star Trek Lower Decks and Star Trek Prodigy. And I have not watched one episode of either of them. And I'm a Trek fan.
Enough.
I'm a Trek fan, huge Trek fan.
Yes.
And I've never even made any attempt to watch either one of them. I know they exist. I see clips and stuff or advertisements, that kind of stuff. But I've never watched an episode. And especially, the thing is, Prodigy is supposed to be with Janeway, with Voyager and all that kind of stuff. She's a computer program for a group I don't know if she voiced it or if they had someone else voice it, but in any case, she appears on like every show as the computer that's helping them do whatever they're trying to do. And I'm a fan of Voyager, and I still haven't watched it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Not interested.
If you're not interested, there's no reason to force yourself to watch it.
It's just the animation I don't like. If it was a regular show, I'd probably have a different. Like they have Strange New Worlds as the current real life iteration of the Star Trek world. I watch that religiously.
I'm just saying, like if you're not interested in something, you're not interested in it.
It's just a presentation. Fine. It's just a presentation. It's not the storytelling or anything. It's just I can't. There's something about me where I see animation and I think this is for 4-year-olds. Why am I looking at this?
Yeah. But like for me, like I'm not interested in Lord of the Rings because I tried to read the book once and it was boring. So why would I watch a movie based on a book that I thought was boring?
Yeah.
So I'm just not going to watch the movies.
There's a YouTuber who I follow who does reacts to movies. Her name is Jacqueline something. It's Reacts with Jax. Okay. And she's pretty and she's entertaining and she's engaging. And she went through the MCU and I was having a blast. Then her last one was Lord of the Rings, and I didn't have any attempt to even look at it. I was like, "Oh, great!" And I moved on to something else.
Yeah, that's normal. Like if you're not interested in it, just
I'm a World of Warcraft player who's not interested in anything in that genre except for World of Warcraft. Like I don't Lord of the Rings, don't care.
No, not at all.
Yeah, although they're both fantasy of the same general thing, orcs and elves and all that kind of crap. But no, not interested. Oh well.
Yeah, but like I'm not interested in Star Wars. So if like they released the Star Wars thing, I'm just not going to watch it or consume it. It's like it's not anything that I care about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I grew up on Star Wars, so
Yeah, no, I get that it's got a lot of sentimental value for
yeah.
a lot of people. It's just not for me because I watched it for the first time and I was like 20, and it's like it's okay. It's like not anything special.
Are you a Star Wars fan, Joe?
I like it, but I don't love it. Like, it's one of those things where, you know, I could go to see a movie with somebody or watch it if it was on the TV. Like, I remember it kind of being a traditional thing when I was a kid. Like, we would watch, we would watch all the 3 basic movies every year. But I don't know, when they released the political ones and then all the new shit that Disney's been putting out, and I'm like, at least in the story, it made sense that there was politics in that story because it was based off that world. In that world, it made sense. It was boring, but it made sense. But when you throw ours in, or you start conflating our culture with alien worlds, it completely destroys the story. So I lost interest.
Yeah.
And a lot of my Star Trek thing right now, if I go back to Star Trek as the the opposing force, I still like Star Trek. I still like Saint Picard, like not Saint Picard, the show that's currently going, but the second season with him. But I don't want to watch it because I don't like that they're doing the same thing there. I'm like, and I really, really hate that they're being disrespectful to William Shatner while he's still alive. I don't like it when you do it to them when they're dead, but when they're still alive, it's even worse. But he wasn't the best captain in terms of his acting for the first season. Like, we know it was kind of a troll, his acting for that one, but everything since was great. Like, even he knows it was kind of a joke that he didn't really read the script first half the time, but it made for the show. Like, that was part of what made it good, was that it was like, what is he doing?
He actually does a lot of his best work when he doesn't read the script. It's kind of strange. But they were talking about a scene where he's fighting Khan.
Yeah.
And they wanted him to deliver a deadpan response to Khan about they're in a battle, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to get the Enterprise to disable the shields of Khan's ship. And they go back and forth about, you have to learn how a starship works and why things work on a starship, blah, 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 blah. And he's supposed to deliver this phrase to Khan that they're going to give him the information on Project Genesis. And Shatner kept on being very ebullient when he's trying to tell Khan that he's giving him the information. So they kept doing the scene over and over again until he got very deadpanned, and that's what they were looking for, and that's the one they used. He turns to Khan on the screen. He says, "Here it comes," which is very flat and deadpan. That's not what he was doing before, but they had to do 20 takes because he had already read it and decided in his mind how he would deliver it, and they didn't want that delivery. But he's Kirk. You can't tell him that you don't want that delivered that way. No director's going to say, "Sorry, you're wrong about how Kirk works. We want you to do this." But they bored him enough so they gave him a very deadpan response, and that's the one that went in the movie. So sometimes not getting what you want ends up being exactly what needs to happen.
Yeah,
it ends up being a very cool scene because of that. Because by delivering it very deadpan like that, it adds to the fact that Khan is not going to get what he needs. Instead of saying, "Here you go, this is what you wanted, we have it for you," instead of that response, you say, "Here it comes." It's so menacing, but Khan will never see it coming that way until his first offer turns and says, "Our shields are going down." And Khan says, "Well, raise them." "I can't," because they don't understand the whole override system. So it ends up that by not really knowing what was going on, he delivered the best line in the movie that way. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is 10 after. You guys have anything else? Because
no, I'm good.
I'm hungry. I don't know about you guys, but I'm hungry. I'm surprised you don't have something being delivered, Terry.
No, I already ate before the stream because
Oh, you're so lucky.
This stream starts at like 12 o'clock in the afternoon for me. It's like 12 noon.
Mhm.
So if I don't eat before the stream, I don't eat until like 2 in the afternoon. So I make sure I eat before we start.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, Green Badger, I have to agree with you. I think Undiscovered is a pretty good movie, but I think The Wrath of Khan is still, as far as the old Trek cast, I think Wrath of Khan is also my favorite. So anyway, let's go ahead and get out of here so everybody can eat and whatever.
Yes.
Thanks, fam, as always, for chatting with us tonight. If you can't wait for the next Wednesday's show, remember the Minions are live every evening, including weekends, with most shows starting around 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 7 days a week. Post and start times are linked in the description down below. Don't forget about Rumble, where we do all of our really good, nasty that streams. And I gotta keep saying more and more outrageous things to get people to show up on the Rumble side.
Yeah.
That show usually starts about half an hour before YouTube, so if you get time, stop by and say hello. We get a chance to do stuff that we can't do on YouTube. We'll be back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. as usual. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we'll see you again next week. Have a great night, everybody.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye, guys.